219-885-1371. And probably the other big story that has been all over the news recently this week is that the Netflix employees have staged a walkout in wake of the CEO's response to the controversial Dave Chappelle special. The trans employee resource group at Netflix is they've planned a company-wide walkout. They started 2 days ago in protest of the remarks made by their CEO, Ted Sarandos, regarding Dave Chappelle's recently released comedy special, The Closer. LGBTQRSTUV activists say that Chappelle made a number of anti-trans comments in the special. Wednesday's walkout came after the streaming service reinstated 3 employees who were suspended for barging into a director-level meeting they had not been invited to discuss the special. Another employee was fired. A black woman, a pregnant black transgender person or whatever, was fired for leaking information about the cost of the special. So to provide some context, this is what Dave Chappelle said that was so offensive to the the alphabet gang, as I like to call them, because a lot of times they act more like a gang than a group of people who have a particular point. Hold on, caller. Dave Chappelle said that he was on Team Turf and aligned himself with the Harry Potter writer J.K. Rowling. Now, TERF is an acronym for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, or gender critical campaigners. They hold views that dispute the existence of the transgender community. Basically, J.K. Rowling believes I'm a woman. That dude who cut his thing off and took some hormones is not a woman. And she's a feminist, and she thinks it's offensive to her for that person over there to decide, like Caitlyn Jenner decided 70 years old that he wants to be a woman, and now she, Caitlyn. And so Dave Chappelle defended her contested views and said they canceled J.K. Rowling. My God, effectively, she said gender was a fact. The trans community got mad, and they started calling her a TERF. And then he said, well, I guess I'm Team TERF as well. The comedian also added, gender is a fact. Every human being in this room, every human being on earth had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on earth. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
He went on to say that trans women's genitalia are not quite what it is.
All right.
This isn't the first time the comedian has faced a backlash. He said in a 2016 set that he did not want a woman with a penis using the urinal next to him. And so, yeah, so he's been very, so they're mad at and have canceled him. I'm mad that a black person has allowed themselves to be used by the LGBTQRSTUV community and has allowed themselves to be carrying water. What say you, Rev?
Well, my wife says the same thing that J.K. Rowling says.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women,
of course,
that say that. And I'm sorry if they stopped the shots, and if they hadn't done the surgery, no matter what you might think you are on the inside, there was a time when to say that about yourself would be to invite medical scrutiny,
right?
Psychological profile.
Right.
Because everybody understood that what you were in terms of gender was based on what your DNA said. Right. And that there were people who have DNA abnormalities, but even then there was a particular determinant. And that determinant was if you have a Y chromosome, you're a male.
Right.
No matter what else your situation is, if you got a Y chromosome in there, in the mix, you're a male. If you don't, you're female.
Right.
It was just that simple. It was that cut and dry. What we have now is it's whatever you want it to be, and that can't sustain itself.
It's chaos.
Yeah,
it's chaos. We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Let me ask the question. Is this past this still past camp?
This the same people you just talked to a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Still us.
Still us.
So
we haven't been ridden out on a rail yet.
Hey, let me ask you. I'm understanding you. Are you having something like a outreach ministry or something over the radio or what?
No, we're talking about regular stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I thought I heard the name. Let's see. Glenn Robinson. Did y'all mention him when you were talking about Dana Adams?
About basketball. Yeah, we're
dog.
talking about basketball.
Big dog.
Okay, then, man, I knew him when he was standing here and shows over his daddy, man. I mean, his daddy was Jelly Jam, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
And he turned around one day. He was in Walgreens when Walgreens was on Fifth, right next to the bank. He turned around. He said, "Hey, Riz, man, he said, this is my son Glenn, man. That's why I tell you about playing ball. That was way back in the '80s, man. You know."
Uh-huh.
And one day I saw him and his father. He said, "How would you like to go out on the West Coast with my father, man? Send him out there at the dry dock." You know what I'm saying? I said, at this point in time, man, I said, I'm a family man, so I got to see mine every day. Son got to come up on him and go down on him. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that's how I was raised. 10 of us, man, girls, 4 boys. So my cup was full. But anyway, I thought I heard that name, so I just want to bring it to the forefront, man. And then he came back and tried to start something with the youth here, and see what their ability was about, athletic ability was about. So is he still doing that? Glenn Robinson?
I don't know.
So
you know what? I've thought about that recently, not about Glenn per se, but just, we talk a lot about the people who have gone on to entertainment success or athletic success, media success from Gary. It's not that often that you hear of them coming back here and being involved here locally, where, for example, you will hear of athletes in other communities where they're heavily involved in their local communities. And I wonder about that. What is it about our community and its connection to those who experience success that have their roots here? Why is there apparently such a disconnect? I mean, we talk about the Jacksons all the time, but let's be honest.
I just put my hand on top of their heads, man. You can't tell me nothing about that.
Well, in fact, you know what? Most of us can't tell you much about them because most of us don't really know much about them.
No, we don't.
In terms of any connection to Gary.
Right.
Yeah, they stole them from us, man. Most y'all stole them from down. Well, I ain't gonna get off into that.
Well, thank you for your call. We got another caller we got to get to really
quick. All right,
quick.
you're gonna do your thing,
all right.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Scott.
What's up?
Did you say at Netflix that there was a black woman?
Yes.
Transgender. So if she's a woman, but she considers herself a man, and she's pregnant.
Well, somebody's pregnant. Yeah, I'm guessing it's a.
What now?
It gotta be a woman.
Yeah, Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. So it has to be a woman who thinks she's a man. Because
confused is she?
She, I don't know. She
quite confused.
You say you transgender, you a man, but you're pregnant having a baby like a woman.
Yeah.
And there was a case in California where a transgender man who says he's a woman went to a body piercing and wax company, and the women and men refused to body wax his private parts.
Yeah.
So he filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Well, he lost it. Judge said, "Oh no, we're not gonna have it." And I just want to ask y'all one last question with this transgender stuff. If you out in the public and you see a female relative of yours going to the bathroom, I don't care what age she is, and you see a man just because he says he's a woman walking in the bathroom behind her, what are y'all gonna do?
Me, I'm trying to go in there. I'm trying to stop it. I'm trying to put a stop to it.
Like I said, and I'm a die by it. I gotta be like Dave Chappelle. If you're walking there behind one of mine, we're gonna tell something.
That's what I'm saying.
Get to a point to where these pedophiles are going to start saying, "Well, I'm a woman walking in the bathroom behind these young girls."
It's already happened in Virginia. The media has not covered this.
Of course.
The media has definitely not covered this. There was a young boy in Virginia, a high school boy, who put on a skirt and went into a girl's bathroom and raped a girl.
Ooh.
And her father went to the school board meeting and threw a holy hell fit in front of the school board, and he was dragged out by the security.
Been a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and he was arrested. He was arrested. He was dragged out and arrested. I forget where this was in Virginia, but you can look this up.
The movie Charles Bronson got when he turned vigilante after his wife and daughter was
Death Wish. Yeah. Death Wish, one of the all-time greats.
Death Wish going on in Virginia.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
Have a good day.
All right, now.